Hi, I'm Chris Slogar. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can find me online at buckeyeinklings.com. I post a lot of great ideas there, and I also have an online store for any of the great Stampin' Up! Products that I use that you see in the videos. Okay, today the project is this super cute little gatefold card. I'm not sure if it has a name. I'll just call it gatefold slider. When you take off the little band with your decoration and open the gatefold, the panels actually pull open the shutters on this window. The adorable little message inside, love you. So this is what we're making today. Let's get started. I'm using the stamp set is from the Occasions catalog, Bear Hugs. There are framelits to cut out all the little pieces that go with it. And the paper that is so cute here in Watermelon Wonder and Mossy Meadow, that is Birthday Bouquet. So that is also in the Occasions catalog. So let's get started. The base of the card is a half sheet of cardstock as usual, 5.5 by 8.5, but instead of scoring in the middle, you're scoring at 2 1/8 and 6 3/8 to make the gatefold. Okay, so we got that. And the panel for the center, which is also Watermelon Wonder, is 3 inches by 5.5 inches, and then it is matted with a piece of the designer paper that is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so let's get started. This piece is the window piece, and I'm going to punch a 2.5 inch hole in this piece. I've actually marked, we were making a lot of these in club this weekend, I've actually marked where to put a 3 inch piece in to center the hole, and then you're also going to try to center it down the length of this panel. That's not so critical as getting this centered. And you'll see I mess this up a lot too, but can correct it if I'm a little bit off. Okay, yeah, see, I'm not quite centered. I'd like that to be actually a little more centered. So I'm just going to nip out a little more of that side. And when this covers that up, you're not going to know the hole on the underside is bigger. You don't want to put these together and try to punch them both at the same time. That's hard on the punches. You could damage the punch. And anyway, this gives you this little bit of forgiveness too if you make a mistake like I did. So I'm just going to adhere the designer paper to the front of that. Make sure that you are putting the glue where there is not a hole. That's why I'm putting the glue on this piece, and not all the way to the edges, because you actually have a margin, a border on this matted piece. And I like the liquid glue because you can still slip your piece into place a little bit if you don't get it down right the first time. Okay, so now you're going to turn it over and punch the hole through your designer paper as well. So there you have it. And see how I've corrected my Watermelon Wonder piece was not, the hole was not really centered, and I was able to correct that, and nobody knows that the hole's a little wider on one side. Okay. So what you're going to do is take your card base, and you'll see this goes into place here, kind of centered. Now I've already pre-stamped that little love you heart on a piece of Whisper White. It measures 2 3/4 by 3. The dimensions aren't that important. That is all going to be covered up. But what I'm going to do is put my adhesive on the back of that piece and kind of line this up so that it's in the center of your circle, and then put this down in place on the card. Only the stamped piece has adhesive on the back, and I'm going to just press that into place and check it, make sure I'm happy with that. Yeah, that looks pretty good and centered. You could, if you want, you could slide that under and then, make some marks if you don't want to do that all in one step and stick that down. But just so your Love You heart is sort of in the center. And then you're going to take, the shutter pieces are 3.5-inch squares that are notched out. This depth is about 1 1/4 inches. And there's a score line here at 1/2 inch. And let me show you real quick how I like to make those. I don't have a punch or anything to make that easily, but I just go to the center of the square and I cut in 1 1/4 inches, and then I cut from the corner to that end point from each side, and this is just a great way to make an even notch. Even if you're doing like a little flag end on a banner, if you start with that cut in the middle and then cut from the corners to it, that's just an easy way to, like I said, make an even notch. So you can see this coming together already. These are going to be your shutter pieces, and what we need to do is determine how high they should be on the card. So again, we're using this as a template. We're not going to glue this down until the very last step. So I am going to put that in place again, and I want this notch kind of to be at the widest part of the circle. So I'm just getting the height, not worrying about what's going on, how far out that is. And I'm going to take a pencil and mark that height. Mark it under the place where this panel will cover it. Okay, and this is basically it. I'm going to put tear and tape adhesive, so it's a little bit stronger, on each of these panels. Each of the little shutter pieces, and then I know the top of this has to be lined up here. The edge of the the edge of the shutter piece goes right into the fold on the outside of the fold. So this is probably the most difficult step, getting the height lined up at the same time as you're putting this piece right into the fold. So I'm going to, that looks pretty good, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You'll still have a great effect. So I've got that lined up just outside the fold, basically on the fold, but not prohibiting the movement of the fold. And that lines up pretty nicely. Good. And then I'm just going to put the other side in the same way. And I'd like these to match up, but if they're not perfect, the center panel will hide that. So once again, I need to make sure I'm right alongside the score line. Oh boy, that was off. Let me, hold on. That's a little too far off for me. I'd like to fix that. This is not going to show under here, so don't be too worried about that kind of mistake. This is all going to be hidden. I'll just pull away this tear and tape. Let me get that a little bit higher. Alright, that's better. Still a little bit off, but you're not going to see that because this covers the point where they overlap. Okay, so basically that's it. That gives you the motion of your shutter, and then you're just going to lock it down with this piece. this panel that we made. Tear and tape just along the top and the bottom. Okay, see, I just have a line there and there, and you're going to open this up. Now make sure that one of the shutters is on the bottom and one is on top. It doesn't matter which is which, but you don't want them crossed where one is on top and one point is over, you know, the opposites are mixed like that. You want one on the underside, one on top, and then you're going to line this up again with your top and bottom of the card, and everything should be aligned now. Press that down and you have that motion. So that's the hard part. Now we are just taking, I've got designer paper pieces already cut, and to decorate the front I am going to put these in place. These are 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Yes. Okay, and if you stay with me, I already have the bears cut, and I can show you a couple other examples after we get this one together. Okay, so now I'm just going to take, I have a 1 inch by 11 inch piece of cardstock cut here, and I'm just going to center it and fold it. I don't pre-score this. I don't want to make it too loose or too tight. I like to just fold it around the card once I have the card made, and not super tight. You want it to slide on and off. So that feels pretty good actually. That's even a little tight. And then I'm going to set this aside and make the embellishment here. I've used 2 ovals from the ovals collection. If you're counting from the inside out, this is the 4th and 5th oval. And I'm just going to put those together. And then I have my bears stamped and cut already. Just put them in place. Very sweet little bears. I have that little flower on my girl bear is punched from the Tree Builder punch in Blushing Bride, so I got that already made. And a pearl. And the honey pot. I'm putting the honey pot on with a dimensional, and then in the very last step, let me put this all together first. Okay, I'll pull this over. I am going to put this on with dimensionals. Okay, so here we have this ready, and my last step, I have a very old bottle of Crystal Effects, which shows you how long it lasts. I'm even a demonstrator and we use it a lot. I'm just going to put this Crystal Effects over the top of the honey pot to make it look nice and gooey and messy, and that will dry clear. It looks a little cloudy coming out, but it dries like that. Okay, so there is our gatefold slider card. And let me show you a couple other examples, because this is what got me going on this this month. I got a sample from Candy Michael in a swap. Here, the band is already off. It's using the Bloomin' Hearts Thinlit, and that slides off, and the message is "Be Mine," using the Love Blossom Suite. So that's super cute. And then I also got one from my upline, Mindy Gray. This stamp set is Birthday Blooms, and this is very similar to the colors, and the paper is the same as what I've used, the birthday bouquet. But you open this up, and hers says, "You are totally awesome." So super cute, fun, and I think you'll agree, much easier than it looks. So thanks for joining me. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you like it. Thanks so much. Bye.